Hey guys, it's Michael. Today's your Thursday, May 7th, stimulus check and stimulus package update. And boy, do we have a lot of information to go over. We're going to start off with key financial and economic news. Unemployment data was just released within the last hour, so that's important. Then we're going to go into the new stimulus check, what's going on there, the PPP and EIDL loan, and then finally the first round of stimulus checks for those of you who have not yet received your stimulus check. So make sure to stick around for that. Anyways, before we get started, it says that 95% of you watching this video are not subscribed to my channel. So if you'd like to stay up to date on the stimulus checks, on the stock market, on how to make money in general, well, then please be sure to subscribe to my channel so you can be notified when new videos come out. Anyways, let's jump right into it and let's get into the key financial and economic news. So within the last hour, the Department of Labor reported 3.2 million people filed for unemployment benefits last week. So that brings the total to over 33 million people who have filed for unemployment within the last 7 weeks. That number is mind-boggling. If you put that into perspective, in 2008 and 2009, during the recession, the worst week was 800,000 people who filed for unemployment. Now we are filing still for 3 million people a week, and it has been getting better. So that isn't even our worst week. The worst week was a couple weeks ago when it was over 6 million. So at least it's getting better, but it's still a staggering amount. Moving on is the unemployment report. We're going to be getting the unemployment and jobs report tomorrow, May 8th. So it's important to keep an eye out for that because that will be all of the data for the month of April. So it's going to be important to see how we did in April compared to March. It probably won't be too good, but it's important to see where that's going and keep an eye out on the stock market because that news can definitely affect the stock market and prices today and tomorrow. So keep an eye out in the stock market today. Next up is that more than half the states began to reopen their economies or plan to do so, but most of them failed to meet the criteria that Donald Trump recommended in his plan for opening up America again. In this plan, it recommends that state governments have a downward trajectory of coronavirus cases, but most of the states who are reopening don't have a downward trajectory, and according to the CDC, the Center for Disease Control, currently we have 1,750 deaths per day and 25,000 cases per day, but those numbers are projected to be at 200,000 cases per day by the end of the month and 3,000 deaths a day by the end of the month. So states are starting to reopen, but they don't even meet the guidelines that Donald Trump put out in his Opening Up America Again plan. It's supposed to have a downward trajectory of cases, and that does not sound like a downward trajectory. It sounds like we're still increasing. Maybe we're increasing at a slower rate, but it definitely is not decreasing. Now let's get into the second stimulus package. I know that a lot of you are getting very frustrated and very worried because you have not yet received your first stimulus check, but there is a lot of information to go over with regards to this second stimulus package. So from yesterday, there's a couple of new pieces of information I want to go over. But first, let's go over a recap, and that is that the Republicans and the Democrats are currently debating a second stimulus package. The Democrats want to have more stimulus checks, more money in the hands of Americans, and they want to give more money to local and state governments. On the other hand, Republicans want to make sure that any money given in a stimulus package is used for coronavirus-related issues. They don't want money to be given to local and state governments just so these governments can use the money to fix their problems that they had before the coronavirus. They want to make sure that any money given to anyone, whether that's people or that's local and state governments, they want to make sure that that money is being used for coronavirus related issues. In addition to this, Trump has expressed what he would like to see in a second stimulus package and how he only wants to sign a bill if it has a payroll tax cut. So on Trump's list of things that he would like to see in a second stimulus package, he wants to have a payroll tax cut, a provisions to protect small businesses, a capital gains tax reduction, and also he wants a deduction for corporate spending on meals and entertainment. So those are what he wants in a stimulus package. And you have to remember, for a second stimulus package to pass, it has to be passed by the House, which is currently controlled by the Democrats. It has to be passed by the Senate, which is controlled by the Republicans, and it has to be passed by the President. So they have to make sure they all agree on what is going on, but there should be a second stimulus package being proposed by the Democrats in the House later this week, so either today or tomorrow. So we have to make sure to keep an eye out for that to see what is going on with the second stimulus package, and I'll make sure to keep you guys updated. But right now there are 4 bills that have been proposed and are currently being talked about. I've mentioned them before, but quickly, the 4 bills are the Automatic Boost to Communities Act, which is the $2,000 preloaded debit card where it gets $1,000 reloaded every month after that. Then the next one is the Emergency Money for the People Act. This one has the most support on it right now, and that is the $2,000 per month stimulus check. The next one is the Patriot Pay Plan, and that is designed to give essential workers 4x bonus on their paycheck, so it's going to be up to $1,920 bonus every single month. And then the final one is the Rent and Mortgage Cancellation Act of 2020, and this bill is supposed to cancel rent and mortgage payments for 1 year. So right now the emergency money for the People Act has the most support, but let's keep an eye out for what is going to be announced later this week by the Democrats. Moving on, let's talk about the PPP and EIDL loan. These are the small business loans. So the PPP loan is almost out of money. The last report was that it had $175 billion spent. That was a couple days ago, so by now it's definitely a lot higher than that. And remember, there's only $310 billion in this program, so if you want to apply for it, make sure you go ahead and apply now before the program runs out of money, because it will probably run out of money by the end of this week, or they'll at least stop accepting new applications. So if you need that money, go ahead and apply for it now. But remember that in order for this money to be forgivable, it says that 75% of the money you get has to be used for payroll, and then 25% can be used for other expenses. So it's not forgivable unless you meet these certain requirements. So just make sure you look at the site, you make sure you meet the requirements so it will be forgivable. Moving on is with the EIDL loan. Currently the application is still open, but it's only open for agricultural businesses. I'll let you know if it opens up for anyone else, but you can go ahead and apply. Anyone is able to apply, and this is the $1,000 to $10,000 cash grant. You get $1,000 for every single employee you have. So if you'd like to apply for it, you can. They just say that as of right now, they're only accepting agricultural businesses. I'll keep you updated if that opens up for more people, but you can apply if you want. Moving on, let's get into the first round of stimulus checks. And before we get into specific timelines, I want to answer a number of questions that I've been seeing in the comments down below. So the first one is that what do you do if you moved? So if you moved and you want to make sure that you get your stimulus check delivered to the correct address, all you can do right now is go to USPS.com or go to your local USPS store, and you have to file for an address change. If you do it online, it only takes 5 minutes, and they'll send you an email confirmation within a couple of minutes. You could go to the store as well and do it there, but the way it works is once you file for an address change, then USPS has your correct address on file, and they will be able to send you your check to the right location. So make sure to go ahead and do that. The next thing is, if you receive the wrong amount, what do you do? So if you receive the wrong amount, or if the amount was sent to the wrong location, you will be getting a letter in the mail within 15 days after the IRS was supposed to give you your stimulus check. And in this letter, it's going to say where the money was sent to, how much was sent, and how to report any errors. So that's the important part. So using this, you'll be able to report any errors that you have, saying that you received the wrong amount, and it'll have all the instructions in this letter. Next up is, why haven't you gotten your paper stimulus check yet? A lot of low-income individuals have been commenting that they thought they were supposed to get their paper stimulus check on April 24th. Well, according to the IRS, it says that if you earn $10,000 a year or less, they sent out the paper stimulus checks on April 24th. And they say it's going to take 14 days for mailing time. They said that's standard mailing time. And then if you make $20,000 a year or less, they sent it out on May 1st. And then $30,000 a year or less, they sent your stimulus check out starting tomorrow. So keep an eye out for those. But remember, using the Get My Payment tool, if it says your payment was sent out in the mail, it's going to take 14 days from when that says. Next up is for non-filers. I've been getting a lot of questions from non-filers saying that they have not yet received their stimulus check. What is going on? Well, with non-filers, the only information we have right now is that once your information is processed on the non-filers tool, it then has to be uploaded into the Get My Payment tool in the IRS system. Once it's uploaded into the system, you should be able to use the Get My Payment tool and check when you should be expecting to receive your stimulus check. As of right now, they haven't given us any specific dates, but as soon as they do, I'll make sure to keep you guys updated. Moving on is Social Security disability retirement survivors, as well as railroad retirement benefits. I've been seeing a lot of people on Social Security disability have not received their stimulus checks, as well as all of the other Social Security benefit payments. However, the IRS says that they started to send out these payments last week, the week of April 29th, but they're still continuing to send more out as we speak. So I'll keep you updated on a more specific date, but as of right now, the IRS basically says they're working on it. That's annoying to hear, but that's all they've told us so far. Next up, let's go into SSI and VA benefit recipients. If you receive SSI or VA benefits, according to the IRS, you can expect to receive your stimulus check in mid-May. They haven't given us a specific date. You guys are asking me, what does mid-May mean? Isn't it already mid-May? I don't know what mid-May means, but according to the IRS, they said you can expect to receive them in mid-May. In my mind, that means the 10th to the 20th, but it probably is going to take longer than that, knowing how the IRS has been handling everything so far. And then lastly, I want to go over a couple of questions I've been getting with a Direct Express and Netspend card. So if you have a Direct Express or Netspend card, well, I've been getting questions as when you can expect to receive your stimulus check. So if you have a Direct Express card or a Netspend card, it doesn't matter. What matters is what benefit recipient category you fall into. So if you receive your payments via Direct Express, a Netspend card, direct deposit, check in the mail, you're all going to be receiving your stimulus checks at the same time and the same method that you normally receive your benefit payments. So if you're, let's say, SSI and you have a Direct Express debit card, well then you'll be receiving it the same time as everyone else on SSI is receiving their stimulus checks. So that is what matters. There's no specific timelines for Direct Express or Netspend cards. There's only timelines for what benefits you receive. So it's not going to matter how you receive your payment. It just matters what benefits you receive. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to leave any comments you have down below within the first hour of me making this video, and I'll make sure to answer every single one. Also, don't forget to check out the links down below and join our Power of Finance Investors group, as well as our Discord group community chat. So if you'd like to talk about stocks, stimulus check, or news, you can go ahead, join the chat, and ask any questions you have there. Also, get 2 free stocks valued up to $1,400 when you sign up for the Webull investing app. 1 free stock when you sign up for Robinhood. Thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to like the video down below, leave a comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.